Good morning, uh, Your Excellency, Mr. Gore, founder and chairman of the Climate Reality Project, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the government of Indonesia, I would like to welcome you to the Indonesia Pavilion at Madrid's Climate Conference. I have been informed by Dr. Agus Justianto, the chairman of Indonesia Pavilion, who is a climate reality readers, as well as by Dr. Amanda Katili, manager of Climate Reality Indonesia, that this is your fourth visit to Indonesia Pavilion since COP21 in Paris. Thank you so much. So for this reason, on behalf of the people of Indonesia, I would like to express my highest appreciation to you, and I believe that your presence here will amplify the principle and the spirit of all of us to realize that now is the time for action. Your Excellency, Mr. Gore, ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia fully support the theme of this COP25, Time for Action. Beyond that, the Indonesia Pavilion at this COP25 embraces the theme of climate action for all time, scale, and impacts. Even though the Indonesia Pavilion is organizing 43 panel discussion sessions with more than 185 speakers, it does not mean that we only talk about doing real action for the climate. I can confirm that all of them are presenting something that have been practiced, something very promising to be developed in the future for our world. However, I realize that we would need the climate actions that are faster, bigger, and stronger to secure our future generation from the impacts of climate change. In order to have those actions, Indonesia believes that we need more than scientific and technology efforts or support. We also need political support from the side, subnational, national, and the global level, including from Excellency Gore. Your Excellency, Mr. Gore, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude my brief welcoming remark, I would like to request Your Excellency, Mr. Gore, founder and chairman of the Climate Reality Project, to deliver his energizing speech. To boost our spirit for better climate action, for a better world, for our future generation. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much. It's such an honor to be back here at the Indonesia Pavilion and to be able to be with so many longtime friends and to be able to meet with a distinguished leader such as Vice Minister Alu Dohong. I have tremendous respect for you, sir, and to those in Indonesia, I wish to say that this Vice Minister has the expertise, the education, the experience, and the dedication to the right values that should cause others to listen carefully to his advice going forward. Of course, it is always a wonderful privilege and pleasure to meet with my longtime friend, Amanda Katili Niode, such a wonderful job as the head of Climate Reality in Indonesia. Thank you very much, Amanda, for everything that you do, and to all of your colleagues who are here. To all of you, thank you for coming to listen to these few minutes of remarks. It is an unusual time because next year is the deadline for increasing ambition. Yet, as usual at these conferences, there is lingering disagreement over over the wording of the agreement and the exact nature of the commitments that nations are willing to make. But usually those disagreements are resolved in the closing hours of the conference, and I hope that will be the case again this time. I want to also acknowledge, by the way, the Minister, Siti Nurbaya, for the invitation to be here. And I want to express my deep thanks to all of the Indonesia climate reality leaders here, but also those who are back in Indonesia. I have learned a great deal from them, and I look forward to returning to Indonesia before very long, because of course Indonesia is a nation that is already greatly affected by the climate crisis. The rising sea level is already causing, along with other factors, the relocation of the capital city to Kalimantan. And there are already many consequences, including a threat to as many as 1,500 of Indonesia's islands as the seas rise. So many people will be relocated. In some ways, Indonesia is a microcosm of the crisis we see in the world as a whole. It is also an example of a country that is trying very hard to change policies and to move in the right direction toward the adoption of solutions for the climate crisis. Already, the consequences include not only sea level rise, but also air pollution from the forest fires, and I won't go through all of the rest of these consequences, you know them. But what is encouraging is that we have the solutions at hand. The cost of electricity from solar and wind is now already cheaper than the cost of electricity from burning dirty coal. Dirty coal is the single largest cause of the climate crisis. So shifting away from dirty coal, shifting away from the burning of the peatlands. And by the way, the Vice Minister is an expert on restoration of peatlands, and yet another area in which his advice and leadership is very, very welcome. Also, there are advances in transportation. Transjakarta was the first bus rapid transit system in Asia, and I congratulate Indonesia on this accomplishment. I do have to say, my friends in Indonesia, and particularly to the climate reality leaders, we have work to do because not all of the policies that need to be changed have been changed. The idea of expanding the burning of coal is very troubling. And we are all friends here. But I have to say among friends that Indonesia has become the world's #1 exporter of coal. And surely there are ways to change the policies that have led to this. Indonesia is the only country in Southeast Asia that has significant new construction of additional coal plants. Again, surely there are ways to change that policy. I am happy Indonesia does have a permanent moratorium restricting new palm oil plantations, but as many of you know, there are remaining challenges with enforcement of the moratorium, and some studies show that deforestation has actually increased since this moratorium was first announced. And of course, the fires this year have been even worse than the ones in the Amazon. My friend, one of the leaders in Malaysia, Anwar Ibrahim, described the situation as ecological warfare. So now is the time to take stock, to celebrate the accomplishments, and to acknowledge the progress that has been made, but to take a realistic and sober view of the things that still need to be changed. The people I know in Indonesia who are so committed to helping to solve the climate crisis are distressed at the increased burning of coal and the increased export of coal and the increased forest burning and the increased emissions of CO2. But the progress that has been made should inspire us with hope that we can build on this momentum and eventually reverse some of the policies that are still going in the wrong direction. I do not know of any group of climate reality leaders in any country in the world that is more enthusiastic, more committed, more energetic than the climate reality leaders in Indonesia. Thank you very much. And thank you for having me here today. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Albert, for being with us today. It was a very great occasion of Indonesia Pavilion.